You go and do stuff and talk in front of people all the time. Little Miss, here comes Miss Switzerland. So, don't tell me you're nervous.
Okay, today in 3rd grade, we're going to talk about elapsed time, and we're going to do this because the vertical alignment chart says that by 3rd grade, students are expected to determine solutions to problems involving addition and subtraction of time intervals in minutes using pictorial models or tools such as 15-minute events plus a 30-minute event equals 45 minutes. So to do that, we're going to use two different models or two different methods. We're going to use the Make 60 approach, and we're also going to use the number line approach. So for the word problem that we're going to be using is this one right here. You start driving at 9:30 a.m. and you drive for 3 hours and 45 minutes. What time is it when you finish driving? So to reiterate that, you start at 9:30 in the morning, you drive for 3 hours and 45 minutes. We're trying to figure out what time it is when you finish driving. So in the Make 60 approach, you do this by setting up a chart like this, having a column for the hours, a column for the minutes, and a column for the time, that'll help you keep track of what time it actually is. So I've already set up the start time, which you see we have 9 hours right here, 30 minutes right here, and we just wrote start at the time, so we know that that's when we started. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to take into account the 45 minutes that you drove out of the 3 hours and 45 minutes. So I'm going to break this up into 30 minutes and 15 minutes just to make it easier to keep track of my hours. So I'm going to add 30 minutes right here, and you'll see that that's going to make 60 minutes. We don't keep track of time like we do with normal numbers. We don't go from 60 to 61 or 59 to 60. We regroup our 60 minutes to make 1 hour. So when I add that 30 minutes to the 9:30, we restart the minutes at 0, and we add 1 hour over here. So after adding 30 minutes, our new time is 10 o'clock. Now, we still have 15 minutes left over in the 45 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in our minutes column. And our new time is 10:15. So we've already added the 45 minutes that you drove. Now we're going to add the 3 hours that you drove. So we have 10:15. We're going to add 3 hours to the 10 that we have. And you'll see that the 10 gives us 13. Well, we know that in time we don't have 13. We wouldn't say 13 o'clock. You also regroup at 12. So when we go through the clock, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Instead of going to 13, we start at 1 o'clock. So instead of saying 13 o'clock, or instead of saying this gives us 13, we say it adds 2 to give us to 12, and then 1 more to get us back to 1 o'clock. And that time change comes into account whenever you hit noon or whenever you hit midnight. You're going from morning to afternoon. So we have 1 plus the 15 minutes we have left, which would mean the time that you finished driving was 1:15 in the afternoon. Okay, to do this in the number line approach, you would use a number line because a lot of students are familiar with number lines, and it gives students the opportunity to actually manipulate the number line on their own. So this is good to use with students, especially if they're used to number lines, working with numbers on a number line. So I'm going to draw my number line out right here. And I'm going to write out right here, I'm going to do my start time, 9:30. Okay. Now, this time we're going to do the hours first. So we're going to talk about the hours first. How are we going to do this? We're going to have 3 hours, but I'm going to break it up into each individual hour. So this little jump is 1 hour. So we're going from 9:30, 1 hour, plus 1 hour gives us 10:30. We're going to do that again for the second hour. So 10:30 plus 1 hour up here now gives us 11:30. 11:30 plus 1 more hour gives us 12:30. So now we're at 12:30 because we've added those 3 hours. Now, to talk about the 45 minutes, I think it's easier to go by 30-minute increments than 45-minute increments, so I'm going to break that up into 30 minutes and the 45 minutes up into 30 minutes and 15 minutes again. So 12:30, I'm going to add 30 minutes, and you'll see 12:30 plus the 30. Instead of making our hour 13 hours, we're going to reset our time and go to 1 o'clock. So after adding that 30 minutes, we've reset and we've gone forward to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because once again, whenever we hit that noon or the midnight, that's when it changes from morning to afternoon, AM or PM. So we've gone from AM to PM. So now we're at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to add the 15 minutes that we have left for the driving time to the 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And once again, we have 1:15 PM, or 1:15 in the afternoon is when you finish driving. Done.
How was it?
Wasn't that bad.
She has to sit down, feeling faint.
You did great at it.
You
Thanks,
did very
y'all.
good. And you were very clear.
I hate it because I get caught up in my words and then I confuse myself and I'm like, no, this would definitely confuse